Hi everyone, this is Dr Eyetemou Miguel, your pharmacist. And this new video I'm going to talk about a very important topic on a very important issue of public health. We are going to talk about the fact that my country, the country where I'm born and where I live, Cameroon, the government has decided to prohibit the commercialization of shisha, which is also called narguileh or hookah. And this is not only in my country, Cameroon. There are some other African countries where governments have decided to take the same steps, such as Kenya, Rwanda, Tanzania, and Gambia. So in this video, we are going to talk about why. Is there any scientific reason for that? We are going to see the principle of how shisha works for you to understand. And we are going to see why the youth are so much affected by this shisha phenomenon, by this new fashion. And the government of my country estimates that 46% of young Cameroonians consume or have consumed shisha, have smoken shisha. And we are going to see later on the composition of shisha, what are the chemical elements that are found in shisha. We are going to see after that the toxicity, how shisha can be toxic to your body, to your health, to your organs, to your functions, either acutely, so on the short term, or chronically on the long term. We are going also to see if shisha is addictive, if you can become addicted to shisha. We are going also to see if you are not a smoker of shisha, but if you are as a second-hand smoker, what are the effects of second-hand smoking of shisha on your health? And we are going also to talk about the difference between tobacco-free and tobacco-based shisha. So let's start with the principle of how shisha works. Shisha is mainly can be divided mainly in three portions or in three parts. You have the head, you have the body, and you have the ball. Now in the head you have two main elements. You have charcoal and you have tobacco. Charcoal is used to heat tobacco to temperatures that can reach 450 Celsius degree. So the fume, the vapor that comes from this heating process goes down through the pipe and gets into water down here, which is in red threads, red lines. And after that, after having passed through water, the vapor comes up like this, enters the hose, and will be consumed, will be smoked by the smoker through a mouth piece. So this is the process. And in different places and for different people, they like to add some flavors such as strawberry, apple, mint, cola, or a mixture of fruits. So it can be flavored. Now, why is the youth so much involved into this shisha consumption today? Because as you have just said, it can be flavored, so the taste is not as bitter as cigarette or as old shisha of past centuries or past decades. That's the number one reason. Number two reason is that there are much more cafes and restaurants providing this service of shisha to their clients. The third reason is that in mass communication media, it's not so much talked about the harmful or negative health effects of shisha. The fourth reason is lack of policies or lack of enforcement of policies or of lack of specific policies targeting shisha commercialization or smoking in a lot of countries, allowing people to do whatever they want. And also the last reason is erroneous perception, because people think that, or youth mainly think that because the tobacco smoke passes through water, it is purified. But we are going to see that it is not at all the case. Because when you look at the composition of shisha smoke, you find a lot of toxicants, a lot of toxic chemicals, such as carcinogens, which are chemicals that can increase your risk of developing cancer. We have benzene, we have polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons, we have nitrosamines, we have formaldehydes. We have also nitric oxide, which is another toxicant. We have heavy metals in shisha smoke, such as arsenic. We have carbon monoxide, and we have nicotine, such as in cigarette. And we have to know that shisha smoking provides more carbon monoxide than cigarette smoking, and the same amount of nicotine than cigarette smoking. Now, what are the health effects of shisha on your health, on your body? On the short term, you are going to have a raised blood pressure, so high blood pressure, a raised heart rate. Your heart is going to beat more frequently, more quickly, and also a lot of cardiovascular negative effects. You are going to have an impaired lung function and increased lung inflammation. You're going to have impaired exercise capacity, and you are going to have acute carbon monoxide poisoning. On the long term, you are going to have to have a higher risk of developing a lot of cancer, such as lung cancer, mouth cancer, stomach cancer, urinary bladder cancer, and esophageal cancer. You might develop chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, chronic rhinitis, inflammation of the airways, upper airways. Are going to have gastroesophageal reflux. You are going to be more at risk of developing cardiovascular disease such as stroke, and male are going to be more at risk of developing infertility. For women, for pregnant women, they might have a baby with a low birth weight, and we are going to have also an impaired mental health. So, is consuming shisha addictive? I have to know that for people who have gone through a session of shisha smoking, when their blood was analyzed, it was shown that the nicotine levels in their blood were high. So they had high nicotine levels in their blood, in their plasma, and it was also noticed some behavioral symptoms of nicotine dependence. So shisha might make you dependent. You might become dependent over time, as is the same with cigarette. What about second-hand smoking? You are not smoking shisha, but you are found in a room where there's shisha, where people are smoking it. Is there any harmful effect on your health? Yes, because as cigarette, shisha emits a lot of toxicants, as we have just seen, and such as carbon monoxide, aldehydes, and uh, uh, polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons. So, even if you are not smoking shisha directly, if you find yourself in a room where there's shisha, you are going to inhale it, to take it in your system, in your body, and that is going to have almost the same effects on your body as if you were smoking shisha directly. Now, what about tobacco-free and tobacco-based shisha? There are some who claim that tobacco-free shisha is safer, is healthier than tobacco-based shisha. You have to know that the only difference is that tobacco-free shisha does not contain in its smoke, does not have nicotine. So that's the only difference. But all the other toxicants that we have just seen, you will find them in the smoke either of tobacco free or of tobacco based shisha. So there's nothing good in smoking shisha, as there's nothing good in smoking cigarette. You are exposing yourself to dependence, to addiction, and also to harmful effects on your health. So it's a call to be more aware of the reality about shisha, and if you are consuming shisha, I suggest for you to stop And if you have not started, do not start, because this is good for your health, not to start, not to smoke shisha, and also not to start or not to smoke cigarette. Thank you for having watched this video to the end, and to support my channel, please subscribe, like, and share the videos. So see you soon in another video.